People forget, before we had John Wick, we had John Rambo. Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm going to be talking about Rambo Last Blood. So in Rambo Last Blood, we are seeing John Rambo back on the family farm. He's living there, trying to live a peaceful life, trying to stay out of the action. He doesn't really want to be involved. He wants to put that part of his life behind him. But then events happen involving his niece in a sex trafficking ring in a cartel down in Mexico. And, sometimes you just got to step up, and that's what he does in this film. Now, I have to say, the first hour or so of this film does drag just a little bit. I thought we had some really interesting character moments right when the movie starts. We're seeing John Rambo dealing with some PTSD or something like that. We're having a flashback. Think of Vietnam. Think of the previous films. And then it starts to really drag out the aspects of what's going on with his niece and her trying to find her father and her eventually being captured down there in Mexico. And I feel like we could have tightened that up a little bit. I liked some of the moments we got at the beginning, especially dealing with him and why he is the way he is, what he went through, him trying to get past the events of his life. But then the whole part leading up to him going down there and them coming back to him, it could have been wrapped up a little bit quicker. And I wish they would have taken the last 30 minutes of this movie and just made it most of the movie. I would have dealt with 15 to 20 minutes of build up. Like, we got some decent character moments, build the stakes, understand why he is so angry, why he wants to get his revenge, and then have the revenge plot be a larger part of the film. I thought the last 30 minutes were wildly entertaining. You get your gruesome, gory Rambo fix in that. You're getting your over-the-top 80s action, just crazy, insane set pieces, just like the traps, everything you think of with classic Rambo, but it took us an hour to get there. As for the acting, I have to say, like most action films, it falls just a little bit short for me, but I think Sylvester Stallone did a good job. People forget and kind of take for granted actors like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. We don't have actors like that anymore, it doesn't feel like. These great action stars, I just love seeing him on the screen. I mean, it's been 11 years since we've had a Rambo movie. I didn't ever think we were ever going to get another one. And now we're getting this. He's in talks to do some more remakes of his classic films. Then you're getting Arnold Schwarzenegger back for Terminator. I mean, we just need to appreciate that these actors still are willing to go out there and give the fans what they want. They want to go out there and make these movies because people clamor for these franchises. They love these franchises. I'm obviously a really big fan of Sylvester Stallone. I love the Rambo franchises. I love the Rocky franchise. He's had just so many iconic movies from, spanning all the way back to now. And yeah, I'm just glad that he's still doing films. So I can't really fault him. He doesn't mail it in. He's definitely trying. You have a little bit of a subdued character that fully goes into rage. Your classic John Rambo. He encapsulates his character once again. Like I said, the violence is absolutely over the top in the last 30 minutes of the film, and it works. It works for this movie. It reminded me very much of Rambo from 2008. It is in your face. It is graphic. If you can't handle gruesome decapitations and people exploding and getting cut in half and legs cut off, heads cut off, then yeah, it's not really for you. There were people in the theater that were like, I could hear them like gagging and gasping at some of the kills in this movie because it doesn't really feel like it's going there until the last 30 minutes. You do get a really graphic scene where he's interrogating a character, and that was really intense. So I like that it didn't shy away from the intensity that may hurt for general audiences, but if you're into, the hardcore 80s action gore of those movies from that time, the Rambo franchise, then you'll enjoy it. I personally enjoyed it. So all in all, I have to say, while I did really enjoy the latter half of the film and some of the moments in the beginning, it just wasn't as tight as I would have liked it to have been. It could have gone either way. It could have been a little bit longer and added some more onto the revenge plot, or they could have tightened up the beginning half and kind of gotten to the point quicker. We kind of understood what was going to happen. You could have just done it. There's also a small storyline involving a female journalist, which could have either been cut back or expounded upon a little bit more. You didn't really get a lot with that character. It was kind of weird. She was kind of just there to help move the story along and take Rambo to where he needed to be. And seeing John Rambo as an older character who is struggling with his issues, he's taking medication to get past some of the mental issues he's dealing with, having been through so many traumatic events, and just physically he's not who he used to be, so he needs to rely almost entirely on these traps. And the ingenuity, just the interesting setups that he creates in his tunnels and his house and his barn to take down this almost insurmountable cartel force. it's really satisfying. It's really good seeing a good guy take down the bad guys. And this is your classic formula for like an 80s action movie. You just have the straight up terrible, horrible bad guys and your big action star taking them down. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I don't like gray areas. I like good versus bad, and we got that in this one. So if I were to rate this movie, I would actually give it a 7 out of 10. I think it definitely deserves a little better than what some of the critics are giving. It has some really, really low scores, like surprisingly low scores. I thought going into it that it might be absolutely unwatchable, but I had a decent time. Yeah, the beginning's a little slow, and the story's pretty basic, and the acting's pretty basic, but I got my Rambo fix. And at the end of the day, I want to see more. I want to see more of John Rambo's story. Maybe we're going to get a spin-off where he is training somebody like the style of a Creed in the line of Rocky. I want to see Sylvester Stallone in more movies, and I'm hoping that he still continues to work. He's getting up there, and you need to appreciate him while he's still around. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know, did you enjoy the movie as much as I did? Maybe it fell a little flat for you. Completely understand why it would. So leave those comments down below and let me know how you felt about it. And see you guys next time.